About 2 years ago, I started a hardcore Minecraft world with the goal of making it one of the most efficient and beautiful worlds in all of Minecraft. But after only 300 plus days in, I died, barely achieving anything. So today, I'm going to start over from scratch, chop some wood, build up to the sky, and immediately unalive myself because hardcore is finally coming to Bedrock Edition and I'm not going to clickbait it until it's actually here. So with that bit out of the way, let's get into today's agenda, the MACE. You see, in the recent 1.21 update, Mojang added a new weapon called the MACE that does more damage the farther you fall, allowing you to one-shot pretty much any mob in the game. And while that's cool and all, for me, it's not really that impressive when you just hit a stationary target. I mean, sure, it requires timing, but other than that, isn't it just a bit boring? So let's fix that by not only challenging myself to one-shot the Ender Dragon in survival mode, but to also do it by launching myself in the air with a TNT cannon, because nobody's done that before. At least in survival and on a phone. What am I getting myself into? But before we get to dragon slaying, we need to first get ourselves a mace. And to do that, we probably need to not be naked right now. So, let's quickly chop some wood, make some tools, get some food, then immediately get half diamond armor because it's apparently not that hard to do anymore. So now that I'm half sure I won't instantly die when I get into combat, we can now move on to the actual first step of our plan, colonization. You see, to craft a mace, you need a heavy core and a breeze rod, both of which can only be found in a new structure deep underground called the Trial Chambers. And while I could waste hours of my life digging in a straight line to find one, you could also buy a map from a villager with the power of capitalism, or, in my case, market manipulation. So after making a small dirt hut for my new business partners, I spent some time grinding for emeralds until I was finally able to get my map, meaning that all I had to do now was to go to the Trial Chamber and get ourselves a mace. So, you're probably wondering what happened. And well, to put it simply, I may have underestimated the trial chambers just a tad bit. You see, another feature added in the new update was the way Bad Omen works. Previously, the only way to get Bad Omen was to kill pillager captains, but now, instead of giving you said effect, they dropped a new item called an Ominous Potion, which, when drunk, will trigger raids in villages, but also make the fights harder in the trial chambers. And to get the heavy core we need for the mace, we have to do these harder trials. And as someone who's played Minecraft for years now and was once a high PvP pro, I thought this was going to be a breeze. Except, I forgot that I haven't practiced PvP for almost a year now, and as a result, got owned by 3 random zombies. And while this may seem like a totally hilarious turn of events, it actually wasn't. This is because mobs that spawn in the trial chambers do not drop any of their items but can pick up items themselves. This means that the items I spent an hour grinding for were now irrecoverable, all because I got beaten up by 3 random zombies. I know, I suck. So this left me with two options. One is to undergo an epic training arc to regain my sweaty Skywars PvP skills, or, and hear me out, I could go back to my base, abuse villager trades to get some of the best enchants in the game, get a full set of diamond armor, open a portal to hell to grind some levels, and enchant said armor with full prot 4 and mending, all just to beat up 3 zombies. Because why get better at the game when you can brute force it with the best items in the game? And now that I'm pretty much invincible, I guess it's finally time for round 2. Contrary to what I said earlier, it turns out that I'm not invincible, if that wasn't already obvious enough. I mean, sure, I got ganged up by an entire squad of Philza Slayers equipped with knives and steroids, but this was most definitely avoidable. I mean, if you look closely at the footage, you could clearly see that I had god apples on me, but for whatever reason, didn't even put them in my hotbar. Like, what is the use of having the most overpowered healing item in the game if you weren't even gonna use it? I mean, what kind of an idiot would do such a thing? Oh wait, that idiot was me. Well, regardless, now that I've died in the trial chambers, this means that I have to start over from scratch once again and end this embarrassment of a grind once and for all. It's time for round 3. Wait, is that it? Oh my god, it is! Yes! Finally! It took us 50 days to get it, but we finally got ourselves the mace. Yes! And stop. So now that we have the most important item for our plan, all we need to do now is to make our final preparations. Because we still have an ender dragon to slay. So, let's start by getting some ender pearls and blaze powder to find the stronghold, enchants to increase the damage of our mace, redstone components for the TNT launcher, TNT for said launcher, and a bunch of other items that would be useful for the upcoming fight. And before we set off for the stronghold, it would probably be a wise idea to test out the TNT launcher because I'm actually not sure if the design I remember still works. And lo and behold, it didn't. Which was actually a huge problem because the machine's not working would mean that the entire concept of this video was flawed and that the hours I spent grinding for a mace was just a waste of time. Or was it? You see, after the mishap, I tested out the same design in a different world and got a different result, meaning that the machine wasn't at fault here, but external factors. And looking back on the footage, even though it wasn't as high as I expected, the TNT launcher did boost me, meaning that the root of this issue was lag, and based on experience, I had 3 guesses as to what the cause was. The first one involved the experience orbs scattered around my base since they counted as entities. However, after collecting a lot of said orbs and test firing again, I discarded this idea since nothing changed. My next guess involved my phone. I thought that the lag may have been caused by wear and tear in my phone, but upon second thought, this didn't seem likely since the launcher did work in the test world, which left only one option left, the villagers in my base. You see, while they may be entities like experience orbs, villagers take up more data in the game because of their trades, level of occupation, and AI. This meant that in theory, the TNT launcher would work in a chunk where the villagers aren't loaded. So, to test this idea out, I went a few hundred blocks away from my base, rebuilt the TNT cannon, and hoped that my theory was correct. And thankfully, I was right, meaning that all we had to do now is to locate the stronghold and slay the dragon. And we were in. Whether this video was a lost cause or not, all depended on this fight right here. There was no room for error. The plan was simple. All we needed to do was to get close to where the dragon would perch, build the cannon, and wait for our chance to strike. But that didn't mean I could relax. Since the entire plan revolves around the TNT cannon, the dragon destroying it would mean trouble, so I'll build it bit by bit while the dragon's far away or perched. Even though I have enough resources to build a second one, it would be best to play it safe. And once I'm done building it, I still have to wait for the perfect opportunity to go in. I only have enough TNT to launch myself 3 times, meaning that I only have 3 attempts to finish off the dragon the way I intended to. Press the button too early or too late, and I waste one of my few chances at glory. So we have to be patient. We have to wait until the opportunity arises. Not yet. Hold. Now! It was at this moment that I had realized I had blundered. I had built the cannon in range of the dragon's breath, meaning that I had not only wasted one of my 3 chances to kill the dragon, but will also have to relocate the cannon elsewhere, increasing the chances of it being destroyed in the process. But as big of a mistake this was, there was no room for panic. We still have 2 more tries left, meaning that all I had to do was to repeat what I just did and not lose my cool. Whether or not all the time I spent and all the suffering I went through was meaningless, all depended on my actions from here on out. Yes! We finally did it! We finally one-shotted the dragon! Who even did the 3rd try? Let's go! Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for the bad upload schedule. Originally 400 days was supposed to come out first, but with my unexpected death, I had to ditch the idea since the footage wasn't that good. And that was when I decided to just pour all my resources into making this video, which was honestly a lot harder than I imagined, especially when it came to the montages. The editing and script writing style was just so much more different than the usual 100-day style of videos I've made so far, which is why this video took so long to make. I plan to continue this series going forward and try to upload more frequently if I can, so I hope you continue to support my channel. By the way, the photos being shown right now are from the naming requests that were supposed to be in the 400 days video. I thought it was a bit of a waste to just throw it away, so I decided to add it here in the end of the video. Also, a special shout out to Leap MCPE. If I remember correctly, he asked me to name a fox Zales since the 200 days video, and that was posted almost 2 years ago. I don't know if he's still watching my videos, but if you are, sorry for not posting this sooner. And with that, that's all I have to say for this video. I'll see you in the next one.